Hi, my name is Jan Hibbard, and I'm here today to introduce you to myself and my business, tell you why that should make a difference to you. Again, my name is Jan Hibbard. My business is Log Cabin Leather by Jan. I've been making handmade leather goods since 1977. So today I'm going to share with you the story of how my business got started, how leather became my passion, what type of products I make, and why that makes a difference to you. There are a lot of leather workers out there. So what makes me a little bit different than the others that are out there? Well, my story began a long time ago, back in 1977, 44 years ago, when I was a college student in Boston. I had an apartment with my sister. I was studying to be a teacher. Barnes and Noble opened in downtown Boston. We went there. I always did crafts. I have to keep busy. I'm a fidget. I can't sit still. So I always have to be doing something. So I went to the craft section. And in that craft section, I found this book, which is on leatherwork. It was $2. It intrigued me because leatherwork was nothing I had really thought about. But what intrigued me most about it, it did mention a couple places in Boston at the back of this book that were just one more subway stop away from where we were. We were like, I don't know, Government Center, downtown Boston. And this was South Station. It's on South Street, as a matter of fact. So I took the subway, walked to South Station, South Street, which was just, the next street over. And these two leather companies were there. I happened to go in one called Siegel Leather first. And it was actually the owner of the company that got me started. I looked around a little bit. It was very small. It was actually not real big in that store, actually, because most of the leather and everything was kept behind the counters where you couldn't see it, whatever. But it was actually, I didn't know then, the owner of the company, Jeff Siegel, and J.M. Siegel Company in California still exists. I don't know if they're still in the Boston area or not. They moved several times. But in any event, this is where I got my start. He sold me a dozen different things and a hide of leather. And I went home and made this vest. This is the first leather item I ever made over 44. And it was February 16th to be exact. This is my original receipt that I started doing leather work. So it was 44 years ago this month. So I bought the leather vest. I bought some cement. I have a lot of the things kind of sitting here on the table that are similar. Now, these are not the exact same things because 44 years old later, things like my mallet wore out. And these are actually a much better mallet. But the glue, a rotary punch to punch holes, a pair of scissors, a utility knife, needles and threads. This is one of my original tools is called a fork punch. This is how you put all the stitching holes in this vest are punched with that. Sewn with what was a wax linen thread. Snaps, snap setters to put the snaps in here. Again, all that is original. It's never I've never replaced any of it. It did have a buckle across the back, and I took that off because sitting, that was uncomfortable. Sitting, driving to shows and things like that was uncomfortable. It's 44 years old. I did make it, actually, it was kind of reversible, although I've never worn it inside out. I just, use the interior pockets. And it still actually even fits. So not bad. So my products last. I am self-taught. But again, after that, the other company that these two books mentioned was Berman Leather, which was also on South Street. I started buying a lot of leathers from them because they were set up a little bit different. I could look around. They always loved because I had a little black composition book that always had a list of everything I wanted once I got their catalog, and everything by number and stock number. So they would just go in the back room with my list and pick out everything I want and bring it to me that way. Berman, as I get to know them, they let me go out back and pick out the hides of leather and stuff myself. So they became my number one supplier. Both of those companies went out of business or moved many times, and I did lose touch with them. Things after that got harder as far as that goes. But that really wasn't where I was going today. I got these books at the Tandy Leather. They really helped me learn how to make these beautiful stamp designs, which is, again, one of my signature collections, kind of is my hand stamp designs. The use of color and dye resist and things that I do intrigues a lot of people. And I do a lot of designs on belts, obviously narrower than that. But they're all made up myself. These two books got me the start of how you do that, how you set the patterns up, things like that. But the first tools I bought were just these 5 tools. And later, many of them. But most of them that were in these books, I didn't have, or they didn't sell anymore, things like that. So I had to improvise. So a lot of my designs were taken from these originally, but then I used slightly different tools because that's what I had available. So my hand stamped designs, what I kind of refer to them as, were inspired by these books and a man named Paul Burnett, who I later learned my carving techniques. I wish I had discovered him later for that, because some of the books on learning how to carve, were not conducive to my learning style. But carving became the other thing. Now, a lot of things that people carved, I didn't care for. A lot of patterns, you'd have something like a deer or a moose, the head, but then it's all this floral design around it. And again, the floral designs were very popular. I'm not sure if you can see the rifle sling way up here. That's got some of those floral designs on it. I didn't really like doing those designs. That was something, again, that's very old. That was made in the 80s for my father-in-law. He was a state trooper, so he had a lot of rifles and things. So that was for one of his rifles. He's gone now, so I have that back now. But again, I didn't care for that type of design. A lot of the tools were designed to do that type of thing. So I came up with my own designs of more natural nature scenes. Living in New Hampshire, loons, the bird that was on that is my favorite bird. But the lakes, the mountains, the rivers, the sunsets, the fall colors, all that's what inspired my art. So I started doing much more like scenes. And this is what really sets my work apart from other people too, because the painting and stuff, a lot of people don't do, they're different. Mine is scenes, nature, people. This is my house. This is log cabin leather. You're in the basement of that house. We're down underneath here. We're right in this section right over here. They're different. And I do custom work where I did a scene of Mount Major, which was on Lake Winnipesaukee here in New Hampshire, or a view from Alton Bay, the lake, with the loons on it for somebody, with a picture of the mountains that they see looking out their windows from their house, things like that. So I do custom work. I do custom work on guitar straps, belts, things like that. I can stamp letters. So if people want initials and things like that, I can do things like that, stamps. But also I have an engraver, which is what's behind this black curtain, because it needs to be kept warm. It's actually a little too cold in here to work with it today. It has to be above 50, and I am in the basement of the log cabin home, which is unheated, so it does get a little chilly. So sometimes I can't use that because it's actually probably is warm enough today. But a lot of days it is not warm enough for me to use that. But there is an engraver, so I can engrave things on things. Those are just some of the things I'm working on getting listed on my website. For many years, most of my sales were at craft shows. My father was my best salesman. But now I'm working on making more of an online presence. So please, again, I'd appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up, share it with people that might be interested in my products or anything. If you want to learn more about my products, the best way to do that is, you can check out some of my other videos here on my YouTube channel, but is to join my email. There's a link right in the description. Join my email. That's going to make you a VIP insider. You're going to, learn more about me from joining my email and the email sequence you get. But you'll also get a 20% discount on the first order you make, and special deals and discounts on a lot of other things. When I have product launches, you get a preview party so you can buy the items before they're available to the public. I do that a lot of times for Black Friday and things. You get access, 10, 12 hours earlier than the public is. A lot of my things, again, everything is a little bit different. If I, made this bag, again, the design on it probably isn't going to be the same. Or even if I make the same design, I color it different and it looks entirely different. Belts, if I do the same design again and I color this with different colors, it looks entirely different. It really it makes a difference. And that's what makes mine unique, is a unique color. As far as most of the products I make are functional notebooks, things that can be used, loved, cherished for years. This is newer because, again, I did not move into this house until 2004. So this was made in 2004. So 18 years old. But again, this is 1978. So my things are meant to last. They are functional. They're durable. I do custom work. If you want a notebook and you want the picture customized a little bit, I don't charge a whole lot more for that, depending on how much time it's, if it's something really unique or whatever. But again, like, it's the same price as a regular book. Carving a picture is carving a picture. So what the scene is doesn't make a difference to me in the price, things like that. So check out my things, logcabinleatherbyjan.com. You can also find me on Facebook, although right now I'm having trouble with my Facebook page glitching out here. I'm not sure what the issue is there. You can also find me on Pinterest, Instagram. So check out my website, logcabinleatherbyjan.com. I love comments, and I'd love to know what you think about my products. And I hope you join my email and become a VIP so you can get those special deals and discounts. And hopefully we can start a relationship together. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Once again, Jan Hibbard, Log Cabin Leather by Jan, logcabinleatherbyjan.com. Thank you very much. Bye.